The story of the Jewish people begins in Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization. Around the 18th century BCE, I received a divine call. God promised me a new land and a blessing for all humanity.
Abraham became the father of the Jewish people, leaving his home in Ur and journeying to Canaan. His descendants, Isaac and Jacob, continued this covenant, shaping Jewish identity for millennia.
These early patriarchs faced challenges and triumphs. Our stories, passed down through generations, became foundational narratives in the Hebrew Bible. We wrestled with God, endured famine, and navigated complex family dynamics.
Their experiences laid the groundwork for a distinct people, bound by shared beliefs and a common destiny. The memory of the covenant and the promise of a chosen people remained central to their identity. Centuries later, the descendants of Jacob found themselves enslaved in Egypt. A new leader arose, Moses, chosen by God to liberate his people. The story of the Exodus, a dramatic escape from bondage, is central to Jewish identity. Moses confronted the Pharaoh, demanding the release of the Israelites. When his demands were refused, God unleashed 10 plagues upon Egypt, culminating in the death of the firstborn. The Israelites, led by Moses, crossed the Red Sea, escaping the pursuing Egyptian army. Wandering through the wilderness for 40 years, they received the Torah at Mount Sinai. This period of wandering tested the Israelites' faith. They learned to rely on God and to live according to the newly revealed laws. The Exodus story, with its themes of redemption and the struggle for freedom, would resonate throughout Jewish history. After 40 years, the Israelites reached the borders of Canaan. Led by Joshua, they conquered the land and established their own nation. This period was marked by both military victories and internal struggles. The Israelites established a system of judges, charismatic leaders, who served as both military commanders and arbiters of justice.
Saul was anointed as the first king, followed by David, a shepherd who became a legendary warrior and ruler. David united the 12 tribes of Israel into a powerful kingdom. He established Jerusalem as the capital city, making it the religious and political center of the nation. His son, Solomon, built the first temple in Jerusalem, a magnificent structure that housed the Ark of the Covenant.
The reigns of David and Solomon marked a golden age for Israel. Prophets like Elijah, Isaiah, and Jeremiah warned the people against idolatry, social injustice, and straying from the covenant. The divided kingdoms of Israel and Judah faced constant threats from powerful empires. In 722 BCE, the northern kingdom of Israel fell to the Assyrians. In 586 BCE, the Babylonians, led by Nebuchadnezzar, conquered Jerusalem. They destroyed Solomon's temple and exiled the elite of Judah to Babylon. The exile in Babylon lasted for about 70 years. Cut off from their homeland and the temple, the exiled Jews focused on preserving their religious traditions and identity. Prophets like Ezekiel offered messages of hope and consolation. In 538 BCE, the Persian king Cyrus the Great conquered Babylon and allowed the exiled Jews to return to Jerusalem and rebuild their temple. This marked the beginning of the Second Temple period, a time of renewed religious and national life. The returning exiles faced numerous challenges but persevered, driven by a deep faith and a longing for their ancestral homeland. The Second Temple period was marked by both cultural flourishing and political upheaval. The Jewish people lived under the rule of various empires, including the Persians, Greeks, and finally, the Romans.
The Persian Empire allowed the Jews a degree of autonomy. They rebuilt the temple and experienced a period of relative peace and prosperity.
Under Greek rule, Hellenistic culture spread throughout the region. The Maccabean Revolt, a successful uprising against the Seleucid Greek rulers, exemplified resistance to foreign influence.
Led by Judas Maccabeus, the revolt aimed to preserve Jewish religious freedom and autonomy. The Maccabean victory led to the establishment of the Hasmonean dynasty.
In 63 BCE, the Roman general Pompey conquered Jerusalem, bringing Judea under Roman rule. This Roman occupation, marked by periods of unrest and rebellion, would ultimately lead to the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE. The destruction of the Second Temple by the Romans in 70 CE marked the beginning of the diaspora. Jews were scattered across the Roman Empire and beyond. Despite the loss of their homeland, the Jewish people refused to be extinguished. Forced into exile, Jews carried their faith, traditions, and memories with them. They established communities in new lands, adapting to different cultures while maintaining their distinct identity. The synagogue became even more important in the diaspora, serving as a place of prayer, study, and communal gathering. Jewish communities faced varying degrees of acceptance and persecution. The Talmud, a vast compilation of Jewish law, ethics, and commentary, was compiled during this period, demonstrating the ongoing vitality of Jewish thought and scholarship. The Jewish experience in Spain during the Middle Ages exemplifies the complexities of the diaspora. Under Muslim rule, Jews experienced a period of relative tolerance and prosperity known as the Golden Age of Spanish Jewry.
Jewish scholars, poets, philosophers, and scientists flourished, making significant contributions to Islamic and Christian European culture.
However, this period of tolerance ended with the Christian reconquest of Spain and the rise of the Inquisition.
Jews faced forced conversions, expulsions, and persecution. In 1492, the Spanish monarchs issued the Alhambra Decree, ordering the expulsion of all Jews who refused to convert to Christianity.
The Spanish Inquisition shattered the vibrant Jewish community in Spain. Many Jews fled to other parts of Europe, North Africa, and the Ottoman Empire, carrying with them the trauma of persecution, but also their traditions and resilience. The 18th century witnessed the rise of the Enlightenment, emphasizing reason, individual rights, and religious tolerance. These ideas had a profound impact on Jewish life, leading to calls for Jewish emancipation. Jewish intellectuals, influenced by Enlightenment ideals, began to advocate for greater integration into European society. Moses Mendelssohn, a prominent German Jewish philosopher, argued for religious tolerance and the compatibility of Jewish tradition with Enlightenment values. The push for Jewish emancipation gained momentum in the late 18th and 19th centuries. The French Revolution led to the emancipation of French Jews in 1791. Other European countries gradually followed suit, although the process was often uneven and met with resistance. Jewish emancipation marked a significant turning point, opening up new opportunities for Jews to participate in European society. The 20th century brought both progress and unprecedented horrors for the Jewish people. The rise of Nazi Germany plunged the world into darkness. Fueled by a toxic ideology of racial hatred, the Nazi regime systematically persecuted and murdered 6 million Jews during the Holocaust. Jews were stripped of their rights, their property, and their humanity. They were forced into ghettos, subjected to forced labor, and deported to concentration and death camps. The Holocaust represented the ultimate failure of civilization. The Holocaust left an indelible scar on the Jewish psyche and on the conscience of the world. The memory of the Holocaust continues to serve as a stark warning against racism, anti-Semitism, and all forms of prejudice and discrimination. In the aftermath of the Holocaust, the Zionist movement gained momentum. In 1948, the United Nations voted to partition Palestine into 2 states, one Jewish and one Arab. The creation of the State of Israel on May 14, 1948, was a momentous event in Jewish history.
After nearly 2 millennia of exile, Jews had a homeland of their own. The establishment of Israel was met with joy by many Jews around the world. It provided a refuge for Holocaust survivors and Jews facing persecution in other parts of the world.
The birth of Israel was not without its challenges, marked by ongoing conflicts and internal debates.
The Jewish people's journey from their ancient origins to the modern state of Israel is a testament to their resilience, faith, and determination.